What's going on, sports fans? Wes Pruitt, 4 Star Sports Media. You can hear me this time, so that's a positive. Appreciate everyone watching and listening. We are the Sports Buffet, presented to you by Athletic Brewing Company, SeatGeek, and Sportsbox Co. For more information, head to all three of those websites /4 Star Sports. Got John Sturdivant in the house. John, what's going on, man?
Yeah, welcome back to another Sports Buffet. It's good to be back. Yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about in a short little time, but it was going to be fun sports talk with you today, this afternoon. And yeah, what better way to start than I know you kind of don't like talking about it at the moment because Aaron Rodgers, right? Because Aaron Rodgers has decided to go to Pittsburgh. What's your thoughts on that?
Yay, I'm so excited. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
look, it is what it is. I mean, we've been hearing about it for weeks now. I mean, he's been teasing it for quite some time. And when you look at Aaron and you look at who he is, he's a talented quarterback. We know this. He's one of the game's best ever. The question is, I mean, he signed a 1 year deal. My question is Aaron Rodgers going to be the quarterback to not make the playoffs for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. How many games do you actually give him? Because you think he either could be injured or is it just because he could be like a backup duty behind somebody else? I agree with you. I think he probably makes it past Green Bay game because he wants to see Green Bay again. And think about it, it's probably his farewell tour anyway, in a way, because he's playing the Jets week one, then he's playing Green Bay down the road as well. So to me, I think this is the last year in general. So that's one reason I think he could very well complete playing past that Green Bay game.
I'm curious to know if he makes it to Green Bay. He may not. Who knows? Man, the Sport Box Co moment of the week. Well, I would say it was softball, right? Heck of a game last night, Texas with the 4-3 win. But John, I got to talk about the game that I have paused. It's at the very end of the game. North Carolina today, 18-2. That is the most runs ever scored by the Talk Box Co. moment or sports moment of the week so far. If you're looking for training aids, gear, sports swag, and more, head over to Sportbox Co. Now, what it is that is a weekly or monthly, I should say, subscription box that is for you, the parent. Football, baseball, basketball, golf, lacrosse, soccer, volleyball. If you're a parent that has a child in one of these sports, head over to sportboxco.com/4 star sports for more information. John, that's my sports box company moment of the week. What about
I mean, let's be real. Yeah, North Carolina brought up the whooping sticks, as people call it today. 18 runs compared to Arizona's two runs. And we talked about this the last couple of weeks. This Arizona team, they are traveling cross country, and it was early first pitch one night on the East Coast. But this is the same Arizona team that dominated the Big 12 this year, not only in the regular season, but also in tournament play, where they won the Big 12 for their first year being in Big 12, I might add as well. But my sports moment of the week is really a surprise to me. Tyrese Halliburton hitting a game winner again. No. Point three left in the game. He hit the game winner. And Indiana rallied from 15 down in the fourth quarter to win 111 to 110. And this is the same Indiana team that had 20 turnovers in the first half as well. And they finished the game with 24. So only four turnovers in that second half. But it stood out to me was we talked about this earlier, rebounding, man. Like they out rebounded Oklahoma City at their advantage, 56-39. So my sports moment of the week is Tyrese Halliburton, another buzzer beater kind of shot to beat. And then on top of that, Wes, Indiana had one timeout left. So
yeah?
for them to have that much confidence in their offense, and of course we talked about this too, the GOAT possibly of all time, one of the greatest of all time coaches in the NBA. Gotta give him a lot of credit too.
Rick Carlisle. If you don't know who Rick Carlisle is, do a little bit of research. Incredible basketball coach, incredible basketball mind. Moreover, he's a proven winner. He's won numerous places, and Pacers have shown patience with him. They've allowed him to build this team, build this organization through the draft, through every free agency. We all know how teams are built nowadays. But to watch Tyrese Halliburton now hit, I believe, his fourth or fifth game winning or game tying shot so far in this playoff was absolutely amazing. You picked a heck of a sports moment of the week for sure. Um, Also, with the way the playoffs is now, you got two games at home, 2-2, 1-1. Big time win from Indiana to go in, go on the road. That's the second loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder at home this entire playoff. That's big time to walk in there and get that win. And now the pressure goes to Oklahoma City because you've got to win game two. You don't win game two, your back's all the way against the wall against a really good Indiana Pacers team.
Yeah, absolutely. Must win on Sunday night for OKC. Uh, Essentially, like you said, it's 2-2-1-1-1, and we talked about this also. Like the way they're holding people, just in general. Like what surprises me the most is how many shots Chet Holmgren really got off in game one. He only got 10 shots off in game one. And no offensive rebounds for Holmgren as well. So that's another key fact for Indiana to get that huge win in game one, too. But Indiana in 7, by the way, is what I got.
Indiana in 7. Okay. Give me Indiana in 6. I think they knock them out in 6. But I think it's going to be a really good NBA final. Speaking of NBA finals, this season it just doesn't feel like an NBA final. There's no big, humongous trophy in the center like there was for the NBA Cup earlier in the year. I just feel like there's a little more effort put onto the NBA Cup than there is for this NBA Finals. I mean, I want to see the old school logos on the court, the old classic ones, not the new looking stupid ones. But give me some classic stuff. There wasn't even anything on the score last night that said NBA Finals. It just doesn't. It just doesn't have the luster to me, and I think that's why a lot of people aren't truly excited about it.
I mean, I'm only excited because it's the NBA Finals, but like you brought up, man, like I want these games, in the regular season, even All Star break, to mean something. I know the NBA Cup means something based on seeding, whatnot as well. But it's getting to me where we talked about this numerous times. The All Star game needs to mean something. I know Adam Silver said it's possibly in the works for USA versus World next year, which I'm in favor of. I'd like to see that. But to me, it's just going to be up and fast paced, up and down the court. It's going to be pretty much a no defensive game. The game ain't going to matter.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, man. Let's jump over to college softball. Game 3 is tonight. It all comes down to tonight. But before we get into the game, I want to talk about what Patty Gasso discussed yesterday, or the other day, I should say. She made a statement that the sport was popular enough now that people will show up, that people will tune in. To her point, the crowd for this World Series final has been incredible on both sides, Texas and Texas Tech. I understand there's the old Big 12 rivalry between the two, but I almost feel as if there's a bit of respect between these two programs. Think about it. What were the odds of Texas or Oklahoma being there? Everyone expected, even me, even us, numerous people around, we all expected Oklahoma to get back. Now, at the beginning, we talked about it. We said if Oklahoma gets there, it's going to be really impressive. They had to do it out of the loser's bracket, right? They had to fight to get there. But what happened last night? What happened the night before? Was pure cinema, man. Pure cinema. You got $1 million pitcher who's going to take the mound again tonight. Um, it's going to be a hell of a game. What's your thoughts on this final so far?
Instant classic. Rivals hate each other. See Patrick Mahomes in the or in a box yesterday. The cheers, Texas Tech, Red Raiders on. I also want to say this: Patrick Mahomes giving those players some swag, if you want to call it. I'm happy to see that from an alum like Patrick Mahomes. Game one, we talked about this a little bit off camera, but a 3-0 count. She made a mistake. Bottom line, she threw it right down the middle when her catcher should have moved over and done an intentional walk that way, and that's how Texas won the game on an RBI. But the thing that's standing out to me right now is Texas infield errors, man. Like they have 6 errors in 2 ball games so far, so they got to clean that up for Game 3, which is tonight. And this game could very well go either way, but Texas Tech dominated yesterday because they took advantage of the pitching change that Texas did yesterday. They just dominated after that pitching change, which I'm kind of surprised they still leave it. They took the pitcher out after 2 innings of work and 2 hits. But Texas Tech went on to win that game 4-3 yesterday. But this game in general, low scoring, I think it's going to happen. I got Texas Tech winning 2-1.
Tonight?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. I think Texas wins it. I love the backstory between both teams, right? You've got Texas Tech, incredible backstory, the coach, daughter, all that. It's been well documented. Texas, same way. I think Texas gets the win, and I think it pisses off the entire SEC, but I think Texas gets the win. But don't worry, you're going to see a lot of SEC folks out there just pounding the chest, baby, natty. And I guess now that Oklahoma's in the league, the SEC's now won what 4 straight.
Yeah, because
Is that how they'll look at it? Probably, yeah. No, man, it's very, very interesting. This has been an incredible College World Series. A year ago today, we sat down and talked with Stephanie Prothro about the College World Series at that time. We talked about a Florida team that she's now with. But, a full year later, we're still talking. We're still getting into college softball on a national level as well as local levels as well, too, regional. But this sport deserves more eyes. In my opinion, this sport deserves to expand this tournament a little bit. To Patty Gasso's point, what she was talking about earlier, in the super regional or in the super regional or in College World Series, that if necessary game, she said it should be played the next day.
I disagree.
I understand. I understand where she's coming from, but it's been that way for how long? I mean, it's that way your entire playing career of softball. I mean, there's middle school teams that play doubleheaders. There's high school teams that play doubleheaders. I know there's travel ball teams that play damn near triple headers. I get it. I understand where she's coming from, but I think what she's saying without saying it is what I just said. Let's get more eyes on this sport. And to that, I agree with her.
But the thing is, I look at it like this. I think it's really been, in fact, this sport for softball has really had a lot of eyes on it for like at least maybe, let's say, 10 to 15 years, in my opinion. It's really been going strong. You saw Monica Abbott for Tennessee throw the ball. You saw what's her name for Alabama, Miss Fitz throw for Alabama, right? So I think this softball, to me, I think it was going on for like the last 10 to 15 years. It's been going strong. But to me, why I disagree with her, you just brought up these high school players play double headers in the state tournament. These college players, it's not like these pitchers are throwing. These softball pitchers can handle 100 something pitches in game one, and then in game three they're right back out there and 125 pitches later. These softball pitchers can handle it, but these baseball players, like they want to throw their ace, they can't handle it on 2 or 3 day rest. Although we did see that, recently. But me
Right.
personally, I think they're so used to it. Like you said, travel ball, they're doing it. Middle school, they're doing it. High school, they're doing it. So why not let college do it? I mean, think about it, Wes. They're playing an hour between games, tops. So they already got like 45 minutes to an hour break. It's not like they don't have 15 minutes. So that's one reason I disagree with her.
Yeah, but let me ask this: in that hour's time span, how much is that starting nine really going to shift if it's a must win situation? Coach is
Um,
going to again put their best players out there, right? If I'm a D1 or any level for that matter, NIA, NAIA for all I care. If I'm at college level, I would like to have a little more than 45 minutes to get ready for another game, especially if I just played a game where if I would have won, I would have moved on. All your emotions are here, and then you lose. All your emotions go here, and then you've got to turn around and get right back here to get ready for that third game. I see both sides of the coin, but I also say this: I would like to see, to Patty Gasso's point, I agree. I'd like to see it change because I want to see more eyes on the sport. I want to see more opportunities for these players to be able to play. And with the way the portal is nowadays, for all we know, some of these girls could leave and end up somewhere else today, tomorrow. There's a lot of factors in it. I also see your side. To your point, like I said, I see both sides of the coin. But no, fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. What's your thoughts on the College World Series as a whole so far? Like the entire tournament before Oklahoma City, the entire thing.
I mean, I would like to see maybe the World Series expand to 12 teams. You already got 8 people that go, but that's a different story for another day, to be honest with you, because we have to do a little bit more digging into that. But I mean, I've been satisfied with the matchups. That's the main thing I was kind of like concerned about. Like you saw regional matchups that you probably seen in the past or whatever, but I'm okay with it, to be honest with you. I saw some teams like super regionals that SEC versus SEC. Maybe that kind of gets old after a while. But again, that's one reason that I think all eyes are on softball these days because it's a rivalry versus rivalry. For example, Georgia versus Florida. But are we really want to see that over and over every year though? Because I want to see somebody different in that super regional matchup in that second round. But overall, as a whole, I'm okay with it. But I'd like to see somebody different, like an SEC versus a Big Ten school in the second round. I know it's hard because it's based on how you do in region play, but I also want to see that.
Yeah, like for example, sitting here watching Louisville and Miami,
Right.
same conference, right? Um, Tennessee, Arkansas, regional that starts here, super regional that starts here tomorrow. Obviously, same conference, right? Um, I yeah, yeah. Um, uh, I mean, yes, I like the aspect of, but there's only like a certain mile radius that you choose from when it comes to regionals, things like that. Um, which, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think you sit down and you take a little more time to build it to where I mean, of course, then I don't know, man. I mean, like shit, freaking SEC got 20 teams in. I mean, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? How you keep them from playing against each other? I mean, there's a lot of factors in it. There's a lot of what ifs. But to your point, I think that possibly you can sit down. I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, it's the super regional. And I mean, let's be honest. Who expected Louisville to be here? I mean, Louisville fans weren't expecting to be hosting a super regional. I don't think they were anyway. They came out of Vanderbilt region. They came out of Nashville, and they didn't even play Vanderbilt. Thank you, Wright State. They
Yeah.
didn't even have to worry about it. That's the. I mean, that's what I thoroughly enjoy about the regional aspect of it. Is because you get those teams that are a little East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Florida. I mean, you ask. I mean, we're going to talk about Kevin. You ask Kevin O'Sullivan how he feels about Coastal Carolina or Eastern Carolina, and he's probably going to go off on you just based on video that I've seen. But that man needs to be suspended for at least 6 games. John has been very vocal on that, and I agree with him. Kevin O'Sullivan needs to be there needs to be some type of punishment somewhere along the line from Scott Strickland. Yes, that's the athletic director or someone from the University of Florida. There needs to be some type of repercussion for his actions. Um, and karma served him right. They got sent home. Who'd they get sent home by? An American athletic team. It's kind of karmatic a little bit. But no, man, we saw the opener today between North Carolina and Arizona, a matchup that a super regional that we really felt like was going to be really good pitching wise. I mean, we saw pretty good pitching from both starters. The starter for North Carolina is now 14-0 on the season after only giving up 2 runs. He came into the game with nearly about a um, sub 2.0 ERA. But I mean, crap. You give up 1 run, and then your team gives you 5. Then they give you 3 more in the second. You've got a 7-run cushion by the end of the second inning. It's pretty impressive, man. I have to admit. But yeah, Tom Chun. It's a long last name. I don't want to butcher it. But he's 14-0 in the year, folks. He gave up 1 hit, 2 runs. I'm sorry, no runs. 1K. Jake Knapp, who was the starter, by the way, gave up 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 Ks, 7 innings of work. But Jake Knapp, 14-0 on the year for North Carolina. It's big time stuff, but they bookended the game 5-5. They put 5 on them in the top of the bottom of the first, and they turn around and put 5 on them in the bottom of the 8th to bookend a 5 spot. And most runs ever scored by North Carolina. They're now 1 win away from their 13th appearance in Omaha. What's your thoughts on a explosion offensively from the Tar Heels today?
Shocked. I'm shocked because Arizona's pitching has been dominant in the postseason. Um, they dominated the Big 12 tournament, and they also dominated the regional as well. So I was a little bit surprised by the scoring for North Carolina. I thought it was going to be maybe like a 5-4 or 7-6 type ball game in game 1. So, but yeah, gotta give a lot of North Carolina, give them a lot of credit. I know it was an early first pitch, like we mentioned earlier, but yeah, give me North Carolina. I still think North Carolina is going to win this series, but I won't be surprised if it goes game 3. That's one reason do you really throw your ace game 1 like North Carolina did.
I mean, yeah, they threw him, but I mean, he was an ace, but he got hit a little bit. But now, here's the question: does all the pressure go to North Carolina, or does all the pressure go the other way? Which way does it go? I mean,
I think the pressure's
you
still
have
on
to. You
Arizona.
would think you would have to throw your best, the best that you got. Um, you would think, but I mean, it's. I mean, it's like right now, top of the second. Louisville is or Miami is at bat. Runners on first and second. Now take scratch that. Runners on now loaded. Bases juiced as the Louisville pitcher after a mound visit from the head coach just beamed the boy right in the hip with a slider that didn't slide, which means it was a fastball. Um, yeah, when a slider doesn't slide, that means it goes straight, folks. But you look all around these super regionals, right? We're talking about Louisville. That game's live right now. You've got UTSA and um, UCLA tomorrow. You've got the Fayetteville Super Regional tomorrow. Auburn plays tonight against Coastal Carolina. Good God, that's a heck of a game. Like I said, North Carolina won earlier. You got Oregon State, Florida State. That's a matchup that is going to be really exciting to watch. What's your thoughts on day one of Super Regional, John? What is a regional that you have your eye on?
What I have my eye on today is Coastal in Auburn. Coastal because the way they dominated hitting the ball against East Carolina, and also the way they dominated at home to protect their home turf, and also they're going to another environment that they're kind of used to because they've already experienced it in their home turf is going to Auburn. So the reason I'm bringing that game up is because I think Coastal Carolina could very well match up with that crowd noise down in Auburn tonight.
I agree. You look at Coastal, man. Um, they got a catcher that can flat swing at number 30. Is number 35 overall MLB prospect in the upcoming draft. Coastal can pitch. Coastal can score. Um, and they're not worried about going and playing in an SEC environment. That doesn't phase that program. That's going to be a lot of fun. Oregon State, Florida State, I've got my eye on as far as today is concerned. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a matchup that has a lot of people really excited. Um, and then tomorrow, I mean, obviously, right here in my backyard, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Tony Vitello comes back. The Vols come to Arkansas for a super regional that I will tell you this much: in this town, it's a buzzing. There's folks lined up right. They've been lined up outside Ball Marker all week. I think they started. I think they actually got out there last Sunday and stayed. And they've been out there all week. And it's something that happens all year round. A lot of people trash it. A lot of people don't understand it. That's the fan base. That's the support this fan base gives. And it doesn't matter. Are they going to be pissed if they lose the super regional? Yes. But guess what? Next year it's going to sell out. Next year the fans are going to be right back there because there's loyalty in the Arkansas fan base on campus. There's loyalty in the gymnastics program on campus. Other programs on campus, you really can't say that for. Football and basketball is what I'm referring to. Mainly football. It's very fickle.
Like, in your opinion, what is the
But
toughest super regional to pick? Which we'll do our picks here in a minute, but what's your toughest region that, in
it's
your
got to be
opinion?
it's got to be Arkansas, Tennessee. It's got to be. I mean, it's two top programs. That's the defending national champion. Uh, that's a Dave Van Horn led team that recruiting wise is the best in the country. Dave's the best in the country at recruiting players. I, that's not just a statement that I'm making up. That's something that numerous people have said across the country. But then you get it in Baum Walker. Nothing against Tennessee Stadium, but Baum Walker's different. That stadium has an aura about it. You walk in that stadium week one against Eastern Illinois, or you walk into it right now between Tennessee and Arkansas at a super regional. That place is pumped. Those fans are excited. Think it's going to be a hell of a series. I think Arkansas loses the first one. I also think Arkansas wins the series. The question is going to be the weather. And the reason I
Right.
bring that up is because I believe, say Arkansas loses the first game and then weather moves in. I think Tennessee would actually move on if the series is canceled because they have the win. Now, if no games are played, I believe, could be wrong, but I believe that the higher seed would just automatically move forward, which I don't think is right. But
No, they play all 3 games no
yeah,
matter what. They'll find a
they
way to
do.
play all 3 games no matter what. Even if they got to play at 9:30 at night, for example, they would still play all 3 games.
Dude, that's gonna. I mean, like, so the weather tomorrow. You're gonna get rain in the morning. It should move out of here by noon, 1 o'clock. I think first pitch is 4 o'clock. Grounds crew, that Baum Walker Field, all that. I mean, that'll be the field will be good to go. Um, Sunday's a little. I mean,
15, 20%, depending on who you look at.
yeah. I mean, if you're either one of those teams, you want to get this series done in 2 games because Monday it's going to rain.
Right.
Monday you're looking at 2, 3, 4 inches of rain just in a day.
Well, that's where I
That's what
think,
happens up here in
yeah.
Northwest Arkansas.
Well, especially when you got Oklahoma and Arkansas and Tennessee right beside you, right? So
Yep.
if you're the NCAA, do you step in and say, like, I know it's due to TV markets and whatnot. Does the NCAA step in and say, okay, game 3 very well could be like 3 or 4 hours after game 2? Although people have bought tickets for Monday. That's where does the
Uh,
NCAA step in and say, hey, there is a chance of this bad weather coming in on Monday, maybe like tornadoes and all that, which we've seen in Lubbock, Texas last night. We saw tornadoes. In Oklahoma City, we
yep.
saw tornado warnings and whatnot. But I think, to be honest with you, I think it'll still be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They'll just find a way to push back the game times on Monday if they have to like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Because I think game 3 is still to be determined, depending on how other teams do. But me personally, I think earlier the better if you want to get out here on Monday.
Yeah. By the way, Louisville's now up 1-0. 371-foot home run, 92 miles an hour off the bat. Crowd just erupted. Little score update there.
So you
But
had let's do some picks, man. I'm ready for them. Are you?
yeah, let's do it. All right. So who you got? Louisville and Miami.
Well, Blake had North Carolina. Blake Hogue had North Carolina
Okay.
over Arizona. I have North Carolina in
Yep.
3 over Arizona. And then you said you had North Carolina as well. So that probably been what
Mm-hmm.
in 3 also, right? Or 2.
Yep. Did he just go back to back? He did back to back off the wall, dead center.
Wow.
Louisville's now up 2-0. Sorry, John. Dead
No,
center. He smacked that ball. He smacked that. God dang. Wow. He sent that bad boy. Back to back jacks. Louisville's now up 2-0. Top of the second. That boy is pumped up. Louisville in the all black today, too, by the way. I really do like those all black uniforms by Louisville.
yeah, and this
A little dance in the deal too. I like that.
no,
See
no,
now, I don't mind a celebration like that.
yeah.
If you dance and you celebrate in the dugout, I'm cool with that. 432. My God, he smacked that ball. 106 off the bat. And there's a pitching. There's a mound visit. Obviously, he gave up back to back jacks. Sorry,
No,
back to North Carolina.
no, we both all got North Carolina. Blake has Miami. You know, I had Miami as well, but I might not change it now because I think do Miami and I got Miami in 3. We talked about this a little bit off camera
Yep.
last couple of days. Louisville had the easiest road to go to super regionals. Miami had a little bit of a challenging in the Hattiesburg regional. Plus, makes you wonder how much travel might be affecting Miami's body as well. Because I don't know if you saw this or not. They just make a stop in Hattiesburg and practice in Hattiesburg a couple of days ago. So I still think Miami in 3. I think Miami's because they got the hardest road to get to super regional.
Hmm.
And I love the jersey combination for
No
both teams
way.
in this series.
No way.
No, no, he didn't.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I thought he just did it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Everybody did.
That pitcher. Dude, I thought it was gone. Um, I like Miami, man. And to your point, I love these uniforms. I can't. I mean, just think this is Louisville ain't even busted out the red one yet, or the throwback with the Louisville and the stripes and the clean, clean, clean. But man, like this Miami green hat with the M and the orange bill, it's just good looking. Um, give me Miami to go back to Omaha, man. I think they do it in 3, but give me Miami to go back to Omaha.
Reminding you of the '90s, basically when we were like teenagers. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, up until last year, Miami was the last number one to win the whole thing, and that was in '99.
Florida State travels to Corvallis, Oregon, plays the 8 seed Oregon State, who's only played 19 home games this year. I don't think it matters. I think Florida State wins the series in 3 games. I think it's going down to pitching in game 3. I think this game 1 very well could be low scoring, but I won't be surprised if game 2 is high scoring, just because, like you have brought up as well, the depth on the pitching staff for both teams could be a factor. So
Yep.
I'll give you Florida State
Yep.
in 3.
Give me Oregon State in 2. I think that the fact that they haven't played a lot of home games gives them even more of an advantage because their fans haven't been there a lot. So guess what? That means they can get out there and get excited now. Give me Oregon State in 2. I know that sounds surprising, but
Yeah, Blake's got Florida State as well. So the next matchup we got today is Auburn and Coastal Carolina, which that might very well be like a late first pitch as well, 9 o'clock
yeah,
possibly. So we're talking Auburn, Coastal Carolina. To me, one of the hardest regions to pick. But give me Coastal in 3 because they have been to the atmosphere before in their home turf, and they won't be surprised by the shock down in Auburn.
I agree with you. I think it goes 3. Where we differ is I think Auburn wins. Um, there's something about that Auburn team this year, man. I don't know what it is. They've just seemed to been tested. They've just seemed to been when their backs are against the wall, they seem to fight out of it. And it seems to be a continuous trend throughout the year for this team. Give me Auburn to head to Omaha, and I think if you're an SEC homer or an SEC connoisseur, you're excited because the SEC has not looked all that great this year so far in this tournament.
Yeah, Blake's got Auburn as well. Next matchup tomorrow, we got Duke and Murray State. Who would have thought Murray State would win the Oxford region as that 4 seed? Um, Phenomenal story regarding Murray State. They beat Georgia Tech and they also beat Ole Miss. They put out 10 plus runs in both matchups when they faced those opponents. I don't know if you noticed, but Murray State also might want to keep their coach a little bit longer too, because I'm sure a few phone calls will be making in this offseason, not only for a head coaching job, but also maybe assistant coach at a bigger program. He's only 40 years old. I don't know if you saw this or not, but he's also got a winning background because he was an assistant coach at Walter State Community College, which we know is a higher program
Yeah,
than JUCO route.
yeah.
So Duke and Murray, left field, right field, center field, better get ready for a lot of home runs in this games because we know Duke can score some runs as well, and Duke's got the pitching staff to do it. But give me Duke in 3. I just think Murray's pitching in the bullpen area might be a little bit shaky in game 3.
Speaking of Coastal, real quick, sorry. Coming into this game, I believe Coastal has won 26 or 27 consecutive games, um, which is insane. I mean, there's teams that don't even win that a whole year. Um, but let's look to your point. 3 games. Again, we differ. Give me Murray State. The Racers are going to race their way to Omaha, and that place is going to be packed with Murray State fans. I'm on the bandwagon, man, of them and maybe another team too.
Yeah, and Blake's got Duke. Next matchup, we got LSU, West Virginia. We talked about this with JD with TCU. Um, couple weeks ago, West Virginia might be surprising some brackets, and they did in that first round regional matchup where they went to the Clemson regional and just dominated. They beat Kentucky, they beat West Virginia, and they just totally dominated. And people wanted to question West Virginia's scheduling a little bit too. So LSU, West Virginia, I get LSU in 3. It's gonna be a crazy environment down in Baton Rouge this weekend.
I'm torn on this one, man. I'm really torn on it because I really like the way both teams have played this year. LSU was tested in their regional. Tested. Anybody that says they weren't, go back and you go talk to any LSU fan, and I promise you they will tell you differently. They were tested. I don't know, man. It's tough because West Virginia, yes, their schedule may have been not up to par as others, but man, then you turn around and give me LSU. Give me LSU.
Get them in 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, then Blake's got LSU as well. Arkansas versus Tennessee in Fayetteville. We've already brought it up. Rivalry, 2 teams that don't like each other. Tony Vitello going back to Fayetteville. Kind of like it's gonna be like a heated rivalry, you can call it, because the way they've been barking back
These
and
teams
forth.
hate each other.
Yeah, barking
Yeah.
back and forth between 2 teams. Tennessee did a lot of barking also against Wake, and Wake Forest did a lot of barking back and forth too. But like you brought up, I think the weather does come in factor a little bit. But I think it kind of gives Tennessee the edge as well regarding weather. They've dealt with it in years past too regarding weather. So that's one reason I think Tennessee will win this series in 3.
Like I said earlier, I think this is the series. I think it's the premier series. Obviously, 2 top teams, 2 SEC teams, 2 top SEC teams. I think a lot of people may have forgotten about Auburn, honestly, in this whole thing. Everybody's talking about Arkansas, everybody's talking about Tennessee, everybody's talking about LSU. Nobody's talking about Auburn. But I will say this, man, he smacked that. I will say this. I think Arkansas wins. Like I said earlier, I think Arkansas gets the win. I don't think they win tomorrow. I think they lose game 1. I think they win the last 2 games. This series is going to be intense. This series is going to be emotional. There's going to be some folks thrown out. A player, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a player, there's going to be a coach, there's going to be a fans, something. These 2 fan bases do not like each other. John was up here last year for the football version of this deal. He saw it live and in person. If you think the Hog calls loud at Donald W. Reynolds Stadium, imagine what it's like at Von Walker.
10 times
Plus,
louder.
you bring, oh God, yeah. Plus, it's packed. Plus, you bring the intensity of you're playing Tennessee. Now, there's local radio shows that like to say that Tony Vitello is an act. It's not. Go back and look at the Ryan McGee piece that he did on him. Tony Vitello knows the optics of him is that he's a villain. Tony Vitello said in the interview himself, I used it to my advantage. Why would he not? Think about it. Think about it in NASCAR. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. In golf, John Daly to a certain degree. Bill Parcells. Numerous people have used being a villain or coming across as a villain to their advantage, and that's all Tony Vitello is doing.
And his passion.
You can trash Tony Vitello all you want to, but you know what? He's got a national championship trophy in the trophy case in Knoxville. It's something that Arkansas fans still want. It's something that Arkansas is still chasing. I think Arkansas goes to Omaha, and I think they're probably the favorite to win the whole thing. But I think they've got I think they have a better pitching staff. They've got depth, both in their starting rotation and in their bullpen. Their offense, numerous guys can beat you. And defensively, they just generally don't make mistakes. Now, yes, you go back to the Ole Miss game during the SEC tournament. You had the first inning where Aloy and others just make uncharacteristic mistakes. But you look at the pitching staff, you look at Root and the other guys, they're nasty. And they want it. That's what Dave Van Horn said recently in an interview. This team has been more present. This team has been here more. They haven't been worried about the future and what's to come. I think that's a huge factor for Arkansas. They're locked in. Give me the Hogs, man. Give me the Omaha Hogs to go back to Omaha.
And the bases are loaded for Miami once again, and I think this is where they gotta score some runs. 2-0, top of third, bases loaded. Plus the pitch count right now for Louisville is at 52 for their starter. So this is where
Yeah.
sacrifice fly possibly coming up here like in a second. But yeah, it's 2-1 now Louisville. So to get that extra run is kind of key right now for Miami. But yeah, Blake's got Arkansas, and then the final game is UCLA hosting UTSA out of the American. The team that did not win the American in UTSA, I might add, because the winner of that was East Carolina winning that conference championship. So, what's your thoughts on this one? I think it very well could go either way, but I won't go UCLA in 3. Blake's got UCLA as well. I think UTSA wins game 1, and I think UCLA wins the game 2 or game 3. Or UTSA wins game 2 also. It's just one of those games. It could go either way on game 1, really.
I think UTSA wins in 2. If you've listened to the head coach, Pat Hallmark, he's been very transparent all season. This team is really mature. This team is also, he's used this term numerous times, they're ready for the moment. They weren't phased going and playing Texas last week. That stadium didn't phase them. That environment didn't phase them. The pressure didn't phase them. You look at their pitching staff, there was emotion. Every single one of those guys was fired up on the mound. They understand what they're up against. They understand they're on the precipice of history. We're about to find out. I mean, I think UTSA wins in 2.
Yeah, another environment, but it's the same exact thing. I know Texas and UCLA got different environments, but UTSA has seen that environment before down in Austin, where it felt like a home game pretty much for UTSA as well. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying this regional / super regional so far, and this weekend is definitely going to break it down, and it's going to be more fun just because games are going all day pretty much from 12 o'clock noon all the way till midnight, it feels like. So,
yeah.
If anybody needs tickets out there,
and we'll be back.
Go to SeatGeek and type in 4-Star Sports and get your 4-Star Sports Media and get that promo code out there for you, because tickets right now are definitely going to be hard to find, especially at last minute. So definitely go ahead and buy those tickets right now. We have seen a lot of Arkansas fans get mad about certain stuff on tickets right now. So that's kind of where a lot of people are right now regarding tickets. So anything $50 or more will save you $20 off of your first purchase. Just use your email, use your password, because this week, right now, even right now,
Yep.
I'll buy tickets right now if you had a choice, because these tickets are going for so much money, and to save you $20 right now, it doesn't handy. These Arkansas Tennessee tickets I've seen, $500.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous, bro.
And then on top of that, man, like hotel stays are $200-something a night. Parking, don't advise you take your Uber from your hotel. You might as well do that instead,
100%.
because you'll be walking a long while up that hill. down in Fayetteville.
And you can ask John. It's a big ass hill you're walking up. Yeah, speaking of SeatGeek, man, SeatGeek is the nation's leading platform where you can buy and sell tickets to live events like concerts, sporting games, and more. What does SeatGeek offer, you may ask? Well, it offers a marketplace for tickets, allowing users to find a variety of options, including potential deals and discounts. In addition, SeatGeek also provides features like interactive seat maps, which is just amazing, and price tracking tools where you, the buyer, can make a more informed decision. Also, in addition to that, there's buyer guarantee, which guarantees you that your tickets are legitimate and valid, which is very, very important in a world of complete assholes. Also, if you are planning on watching the games, sorry, I'm sure I probably made John laugh there. If you are planning on watching the games, look, crack open an ice cold Athletic Brew. Head over to Athletic Brewing Company now. They are the America's largest dedicated non-alcoholic brewer in the country, based out of Stratford, Connecticut. They branched out. They're also out in San Diego now as well. So they've got both ends of the spectrum covered. Incredible, incredible, incredible brews. Head over there now. You got Upside Down, Free Wave, Run Wild, Cerveza Atletica, Athletic Light. They also have a deal going right now with the Ironman competition, which is the beer called Ironman. And they've also got a Fancy Like, which I know y'all probably heard the song Fancy Like Applebee's on date night. They've got one going with Walker Hayes right now called Fancy Like. It's pretty good. I'm more of the athletic IPA, athletic light type of guy, but definitely good stuff. Good stuff for sure. Um, yes, you were exactly right, John. Go buy your tickets through SeatGeek. Go buy your tickets through SeatGeek is the best way to do it. John, as we close up here, what's your thoughts, man? We talked about it a little bit earlier about the NBA, about the lack of. I'm trying to think of the term that I
It
want
feels
to
like
use, and I
okay.
can't
I'll
think of
try
it.
to help you out a little bit. It feels like it's lack of interest because the way that these two teams. I know a lot of people thought Oklahoma City was probably going to be in the finals, but a lot of people did not predict Indiana. If that makes sense. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people probably thought Boston or Cleveland could have matched up with Oklahoma City and had the better shot at winning it all over OKC. So that's one reason I think a lot of not only media nationally, I mean, are not really that much interested, on it, but also from a local point of view as well. But me
Dude, these
personally,
folks are sitting on freaking roofs outside this stadium to watch the game. How freaking awesome is that? That is amazing. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. That blew me away. I looked up, there's a group of probably 20 guys sitting on a roof, probably drinking beer. That's smart. Um, but no, to your point, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. I did that back in the day myself. But when you yeah, a lot. Um,
you're not on national
but
TV like
when
these
you
guys.
look, well, I mean that I know of. Maybe I was. Who knows? But when you look at like, it just has a different feel, man. Like, where is, like I said earlier in the show, where's the big ass trophy? Where's the NBA Finals logo? Where's the NBA Finals stuff on the score ticker? It feels like a regular Wednesday night basketball game or Thursday night basketball game that's on TNT or ESPN. It just feels like a normal game. It doesn't feel like the finals, and I blame that on the NBA. That is the NBA's fault. It's not TV's fault. It's not. It's the NBA's fault. Push your game, push your finals. Where's the dramatic intros? I just don't see it, man. And it's really, I just don't get it. I just don't understand why the NBA continues to just push all this other stupid random shit. No one cares about the damn mid-season Gold Cup, NBA Cup. what does that get you, John?
Nothing really.
What's the benefit of winning it?
Nothing. Just bragging rights.
Which means nothing. Because unless you win the championship trophy, you're the only team that can brag. Right? Now,
Right.
does that mean that every other team season is a failure? No. Go back to a Giannis Antetokounmpo interview a couple years back where somebody asked him about the season being a failure, and he immediately told the guy it wasn't.
I just think with them having a week off between games also has been hurting the NBA. Like,
Yeah, nobody
I
wants to wait a week to watch another game,
no. And I also think it's probably
especially
one,
when you're in the
you
same
know,
city.
and then on top of that, like 4 weeks later, you got the NBA draft right after that. So that's kind of like the
Yep.
biggest event. I know we talked about this. We talked about how they're spreading out games, which I'm not a big fan of either. But I know they gotta have their rest supposedly, but they can rest if they can airplane. But yeah, so I think it's just because the way they thought somebody else other than Indiana was going to be in the finals with OKC is why they kind of didn't feel like there's not enough interest. I mean,
Yeah.
are we really good? I mean, Rick Carlisle and Halliburton are really the main factors that Indiana. They're talking about Indiana. Nobody else is really getting mentioned on Indiana. But if you had like a Boston or a Cleveland, you'd have Jason Tatum and a few other people on Boston to talk about. And on Cleveland, the same way, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Mitchell. Those would be the main three on both teams they would talk about. I just feel like there's not a big three in Indiana for them to push this, regarding this. Is one reason I think the NBA, is kind of like, we're kind of like dragging a little bit of this as well. But breaking news on the college football point of view, real quick, Wes. Ross Dillinger has tweeted out, in a somewhat stunning move, ESPN is finalizing an agreement to extend its sub-license package with TNT Sports to include the CFP semifinal round, sources tell Yahoo Sports. The deal would grant
Smart.
TNT Sports Broadcasting rights to one CFP semifinal annually in 26, 27, and 28.
It's incredibly smart. It's incredibly smart by TNT. Way to get in there. Way to get in there. And that's here's the other thing crazy. Guess who was part? What a play. What a play. Freaking Louisville is bringing it, son. Wow. Holy cow. Sorry. You know what's crazy is that the CW and Apple TV and TNN and TNT and all these different sports, they were all part of the deal for the Pac 12.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one the Pac 12 didn't do. But everyone wants, teams like Memphis to leave the American and go to the Pac 12 because that makes no sense. What teams are in the Pac 12 right now, John?
Oregon State and somebody else.
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington State. That's it. That's it. And they just hit a home run. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Louisville is pouring it on,
Oh.
folks. Louisville is pouring it on. It's now 7-1.
Hey, stay on the roof, guys. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, it's 7-1. Stay there, boys.
You take your shirts off.
Wow.
Be safe. Okay.
427 off the 427 distance, 105 off the bat. There they are. There they are. Look at them. They got their cooler shirts off. Those boys are having fun. I love it, man.
And-
I love it.
also-
John, as we close the show, man.
I just want to say this
go ahead,
also. The Bahamas Bowl, I don't know if you saw this or not, is not going to be in the Bahamas this year.
I did.
So for the second year in like so many years, it's not going to be in the Bahamas. So it makes you wonder if the Bahamas Bowl might not be in the Bahamas no more going forward. Also, another thing.
I believe it's the second out of third year that it hasn't been played there.
Yeah, because like it was in Charlotte a couple of years ago. So yeah.
Yep.
The New Orleans Bowl is seeking a new title sponsor for the first time since 2006 as its 19-year partnership with R&L
R&L?
Carriers has expired.
Wow.
Very interesting because Memphis was, you know, part of that bowl game back in first bowl game in so many years. That was part of that as well. So breaking news
That
on
was the
that
first
front.
game, first bowl in 39 years for Memphis. Isn't
Yeah.
that what it was? Yeah.
So some interesting breaking news on the college football point of view.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. What a wild way to end the show. But like I said, we'll have more. We'll be back Sunday as we're talking more college baseball, college softball. We'll also be talking UFL as we got some conference championship games coming up in the United Football League, as well as Live Golf. We'll be talking WWE Sunday too, because we'll be recapping a Money in the Bank event tomorrow night from WWE. So there's only 4 matches. So 2 of those are the men's and women's Money in the Bank matches. So that's going to be an exciting card tomorrow night. That will be over on Peacock for all of you that want to watch. But John, appreciate you coming on me, man. It's been a fun time as always talking sports because that's what we do here at 4 Star Sports Media. We may have a 4-star name, folks, but we bring you 5-star coverage in all that we do. So for John Sturdivant and all of us here at 4-Star Sports Media, I am Wes Pruitt. As always, folks, get up, be kind, and stay classy.